Okay, forgot the job number, but this is Rainier Apartments, Unit 7 at 202 Edwards Street Southwest. That's the main entrance here in Yelm. Staging, we can park in the perimeter parking if we need to, or we can be closer to where the scope of work is, and that's Unit 7. Over here off of, this is Washington, I believe. Washington, and then Edwards is the cross street. So if you go down Washington, we can close off probably all these stalls if we need to. Use it for staging. And then also for access for the dump truck. We don't need a line pump or anything for this, I don't believe. Here's the entrance over here to this ramp. I forgot to mention in my other video that we need to rip out the existing wood ramp, but there's a wood ramp here that needs to be taken out, and we need to put in a concrete ramp. So we're going to create a landing, a ramp, a landing out here that's about 3 inches tall, and then we're going to ramp it down to that staircase there, and then we're going to take this concrete out and make it ADA compliant up to that 3-inch mark. So it's going to be fairly flat when you go from the asphalt, but we're going to redo this concrete up to that landing, which will be 3 inches above the surface. So this was a picture I took, and you can see how there's a landing up at the top, then there's a ramp, then there's a landing down at the bottom, and then it's going to ramp down to the staircase to the right, and then we're going to replace the sidewalk to the left. Okay, so here we go. Let's talk about the removal. So we're going to have to remove this sidewalk all the way down to the front here. So we'll remove this panel, that panel, that panel, that panel, that one, all the way down. So this is 33 feet by 4 feet, all the way down to this last square right here in front of the staircase. Okay, main office is over there. Unit 2 is over here. We were just looking at that job. Okay, so remove 4-inch depth concrete here, light broom finish, and we're going to put back we're going to end up putting all this back at 4 inches, except for on this little 4x4 square right here, we're going to go 3-inch tall. So as we remove the 4 inches of concrete, we're going to end up putting back 4 inches of crushed rock right here on this 4x4. We'll put 4 inches of crushed rock back there, and then pour a 3-inch tall pad, landing pad here. Okay, 4x4, 3-inch tall. It's going to taper down to the right to 0 on that. So assume that that's going to be 4-inch depth all the way down, and that is 5 plus 2 plus 7 is 4. So that's 11 by 4 that we'll end up putting back at, well, most of it's going to be 4 inches. Yeah, it's pretty much going to be 4 inches. We'll have to use a little bit of crushed rock in here, I would imagine. But we will create this ramp to taper down. Okay, 4-inch depth there. This will be 3-inch depth, but with 4 inches of rock underneath. Okay, so that 3-inch pad will be poured right at the surface there. All right, so let's talk about the removal on this portion here. So this right here is roughly, I think it was 14 feet that I measured. Yeah, it's 14 feet. 14 feet by, oops, let me back up here. -4, so 10. 10 by 4 existing concrete sidewalk underneath, 4-inch depth that needs to be removed. And then you have a 4x4 concrete pad up there by the doorway that needs to be removed. That pad right there is roughly about 10 inches. So we got to remove 10 inches at 4x4 there. And then this 10 by 4, 4 inches. Then you got the wood ramp that we need to pull out and dispose of. What we're putting back now is a 5x5 pad, landing pad up at the top. That'll be at 10 inches. Okay. 10 inches, so we're going to need some rock to build up, so we're only at 10 inches. Okay, and then hold on. Yeah. So we're gonna need some, crushed rock in here. We'll probably need at least about a yard of crushed rock so we can pack it in, build that up. So we're building a 10-inch tall pad at the doorway. That's 5 by 5. And then we'll run the ramp down 10 feet to the landing. So that'll be a 10-foot ramp that's 5 foot wide, so 10 by 5. Okay, 10 by 5. And it's going to go from 10 inches down to 3 inches. So 10 inches to 3 inches on that 10-foot span there. We already talked about this 4x4 pad here, this landing. Okay, that's going to be 3 inches thick. And then when we put back this concrete, okay, this is 4 plus 2 is 6, plus 4 is 10, plus 4 is 14, plus 2 is 16. So we got a 16 by 4 4-inch depth concrete that we're going to have to pour and match it up to this 3-inch tall pad. So that means we're going to have to get, enough crushed rock put down so that it's flush on the surface, and then that we're pouring this concrete pad or this concrete sidewalk up to this 3-inch pad. Light broom finish. I'm talking to the customer about getting their railing person out here so they can do something like that railing where it's a surface mount and just put it right on top of the concrete ramp on both sides, and then they can decide whether they want to put like a ramp or a railing here at the end or not. Okay. Currently, I'll show you what the slope is. So it's 10.6, right at about the middle here. Okay. 10.6. Cross slope right now is 0.3. 9.4. 9.3 at the door on the run slope there. Okay. Everything down here though is pretty good. It's 0.9 by 1.7 on cross slope. So we're good there. I know that we're good there. Down here where we would remove this is 1.7. That's basically where the landing is going to be from this 3-inch tall ramp. Probably would end up being around in here, but safe to say that this would be the landing right here. 1.7 by 1.3. Okay. Pretty much the same over there. We'll be able to make sure that our cross slope and run slope is good when we tie into the asphalt up there. Okay, so this tenant here does not have a way to get out the back door with their wheelchair. So it's going to probably be a 2-day process here where we rip this out and we set it all up, and then we come back and pour it the second day. So I'll have to let the customer know that it's going to be a 2-day process, and they're going to have to find somewhere to be for 2 days. Okay. That should do it. Any other questions, let me know.